All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom. I'm a full-time eBay reseller and a stay-at-home dad for my 6 children. And this is going to be a what sold video, the part of the show where I ramble endlessly about the things that sold and get into minutia nobody cares about. So if you're into that kind of thing, hit the like and subscribe. Let's get into it. First item of business is this here Carhartt. I paid $3 for it at a yard sale. 2XL pocket t-shirt, and it sold for $14 plus shipping in a day and a half. I had it listed for $19 and I had an offer come in at $12, and I decided to play a little bit of ball. I don't feel like I won because it was $14 plus shipping. But I was all in at $21, so I'll make some money, and it will be all good. But that's not a ton of money made, but it was a really quick flip. These I paid $7 for. They're Hoka One. If you're not familiar with Hoka brand, they sell really well. They're kind of on a downward trend, but they do pretty well. These flip-flops evidently are men's. They look very feminine-y to me. I mean, they're pretty well unisex. And if you remember me picking these up, and maybe I edited a lot of it out, I never found the size while I was in the thrift store, but I did eventually find the size. It is here in the, right there. So it is embedded in the sole, just very small and out of the way. On these, I paid $7. They sold for $33 free shipping. And I'll probably just polymailer them like that. Except I don't think all that mess was on there when I listed them. I'm going to have to look at the pictures. So it's not nearly as prominently features as I would like it to be, that it has that mess up on there. And so I'm going to go ahead and send it the way that it is and let the chips fall where they will. If they leave me negative feedback, fine. If they say, hey, these are gross, they can return them or they can ask for a partial refund, and I would certainly grant that. But I'm not going to cancel the order when they're supposed to ship in the morning. And so part of the part of that large Sega buyout was a bunch of manuals for the Game Genie, and it didn't come with a Game Genie, but I got these, and they sold for $12 free shipping. Not a great buy. I mean, it's not a great sale, but these were literally just paper in the bottom of the box. I didn't count the cost on them, and so they're just a little bit of padding of profit. Couple of Sega Genesis controllers tested and working from that Sega buyout, well into the profit a long time ago on those and on that whole buyout. And these sold for $20 on an offer, free shipping. So next up we have this box that is PlayStation 1 controllers, all tested and working, but I didn't clean them up. And so I sold them as tested, working, and needing cleaned in a lot. I was asking $7 a piece. I ended up taking $35, which is $5 a piece, and I'm happy with that. They'll be fairly cheap to ship, and they've been sitting in a box for 3 years, and so I'm glad to get anything for them and get them out of here. Paid $5 a piece for some Chicago Bulls hats, new with the tag. I got 4 of them at the auction. High bid auction, there was 4. I paid $20 for the lot. One of these sold for $17 and one of them sold for $15. Probably free shipping. I think I listed them for $19.99 and took some offers. I was just taking offers to get sales rolling this weekend, and I did get some sales by the end of the weekend. I did end up getting some things to sell, but so you'll see we have a lot of sales, but I was taking a lot of offers. This, I paid $3 for at a thrift store. It is a gigantic Dakin Free Willy from 1995. Free Willy character license, 1995 plush. Pretty cool piece. Not the kind of thing that you see very much, but it's not going to be a lot of fun to ship. I'm glad I've got a really big poly mailer. I had it listed for $70 for 3 years. And I took a $40 offer because it's just nobody cared to buy it, and then somebody bought it today. Polybagged. Would you be excited to get this in that poly bag? I think it's fine. The tail had a little bit of a bend to it already, and otherwise it's just kind of smushed. And you guys were with me the other day when Levi was with me the other day and pointed out this blender. These heavy-duty blenders, man, they do super well. Even these relatively older ones. Nice heavy glass cup, and then the Oster. And this sounds like a circular saw. When it's running, a customer messaged me and said, is it super loud? Like, it shouldn't be that loud. And I said, it sounds like a circular saw. But it's because it has such a powerful motor. And they ask if it leaked, and it doesn't leak. I tested it with water, so it doesn't leak. It's in really nice shape. And we paid $5 for it. It sold for $50 free shipping. It sold in probably a week. So I was on Whatnot, and I paid $1 for a bunch of pens, new old stock stuff. These I have done well with before. Scripto, yellow mechanical pencils. And then these things I just threw in to make it sell. Vintage stuff does pretty well. These sold for $11.50 free shipping. So not a bunch of money, but they'll be easy to mess with and easy to list, and they sold in 2 weeks. This was not a good pickup. I paid $3 for it, something like that, at Goodwill the other day, and I couldn't find comps for it when I bought it, but it's gigantic, and so it's going to suck to ship. It's probably 2.5 feet long, and it sold for $15 free shipping. It is 29 inches long. Not good. I'll put up how much money I lost on it right here. But you win some, you lose some. I win a lot on a lot of these items today, and I sell the losses anyway. Like, you could just say, I'll cut my losses at $3, which would probably be equally valid as putting the resources into this to lose $2. You know, if I donated this back, I'd be out the $3. Or I could sell it and get traffic for my store and be out $3 probably. The point is, you make and lose money on the buy. And so whether you bought that for too much or it wasn't worth buying at all, you can. It just depends on whether you want to put a little bit of effort into losing the money. And I think to get the traffic in the store, I think is better than just giving it back to Goodwill. And it's not as if it took much effort at all. If I had to test it and weigh it and, you know, clean it, then it wouldn't be worth just listing at market value and letting it sell, and even if that doesn't make me money. But it's literally take 3 pictures and stick it in a poly mailer bag, and I'm not necessarily saying it's the best decision to list that, even though I knew I wasn't going to make money on it. But the other option was also losing money on it. So I shouldn't have bought it. And once I owned it, I made the decision I made. Other people might see that differently. Whatnot flashlight. These used to not sell for much at all. They used to be crazy expensive, and when they were the regular flashlight people used. And then LED flashlights came out, and this is an incandescent bulb flashlight. And these kind of went the way of the dinosaur, and now they're starting to come back as collectibles, I suppose. Mag light. This takes 2D batteries, and it is the dullest flashlight available on the market. But you can get the like 4D cell battery ones that like cops would use as billy clubs, and they are though the bigger the better on a mag light. They're neat, but it's not really like a super functional flashlight, because you can get a flashlight in your pocket that takes one like this. You can get like this. This is a blacklight flashlight, but something like this would be brighter than this now, because the technology's come quite a way. But the These still do well. I paid $3 because I remember the auctioneer was like, "Holy cow, guys, we're bidding on a mag light. This is going sold $3. Wow, what a deal!" And I sold it for 22 free shipping. And easy as it can be with your American Bubble Boy insert, just put some bubble wrap around it, tape over the ends, and the label over the edge. This is another one. I paid $10 for this at the high bid auction, and it is Franklin Mint collector knives, which is not the kind of thing that normally does well, but I ran comps on this for knowing that it, had eBay comps, Babe Ruth collectible. There was one that was Spider-Man, and the comps were crazy high on that one. And then this Babe Ruth one, and I ended up paying $10 for this, and it sold for $20 free shipping, which, I mean, I'm not making a ton of money, but I overbid for it and listed it at market anyway. Another item that I'm not really making money on. I paid $25 shipped for this on Whatnot, and it had the hands on it when I bought it. I messaged the buyer and I was like, "Man, that thing really got," or the seller, I said, "that really got crushed in shipping." And before they could respond, I realized that there's a way to click on the item that you bought and see the timestamp in the video where it was presented. And the hands were crushed when it was presented, and I didn't realize it. So then I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of on me. Guy should have said, "Hey, look at these hands. Know what you're buying. Bid responsibly." But he didn't. But I didn't look close as I should have either. And I bid $25. And then I bought the hands for it because it had to have replacement hands before I ever plugged it in. Another dumb decision, because then the motor didn't work and I couldn't get it to work. But now I'm into it for like $45, and I listed it for $70 and took a $60 offer, and it sold. And I was just trying to get out of it and get it to somebody who can make it work. I listed it for $70, knowing that that's kind of, that if I send out a 10% offer or I take a best offer, I'm pretty well at break even. If it sells for full price, I'll make money. But I'm at the point with it where I'm too sunk in it. I'm never going to fix it. Let's just get it on to somebody who can fix it. And it's 15-inch circle, so it's not going to be fun to ship, but it'll be fine. That one was a gamble. It could have been really good had it not had the hands crushed and been in working order, but I bought it as is without knowing whether or not it worked and without realizing the poor condition it was in. And then I also bought new hands without testing the motor because I'm an idiot. So I made some mistakes on that. Don't make mistakes and you won't lose money on buying clocks. High bid auction a long time ago, I bought a bunch of spark plugs. I had 2 sets left and neither of them were still listed, oddly enough. And so I just listed these 4 together for $13.99 free shipping to get them to sell, because that's a good price on 4 spark plugs if you need them. So this set sold. There's one more set listed at the same price, different spark plugs. These were just leftover inventory that I listed low to make them sell quick. And I made money on that buy really early, and that was over a year ago, and these were inventory that came up when I was inventorying things, that these were in the box and not even listed. So this is found money at this point. Let's talk ladies' clothing. I didn't even know what this was when I picked it up, but Johnny was new on the, just coming out of the back rack, and it just had a really interesting pattern on it. So as I'm flipping through, I'm like, oh, these are all ladies. Wait a minute, that's cool. let me take a second look at that. And Johnny was a name that I was familiar enough with that this stuck out to me. And I was like, $5.44. Let me look up Johnny Was peacock and just see. Because there was one feather that made me think it was a peacock. And I was wrong about that because it is, in fact, an owl's pattern. And so once I did, but looking up the peacocks, I was like, there's nothing Johnny Was that's less than like $75 or $80. So we're going to go ahead and buy this and figure out what it is when I get it home. And I did that. There was a sold comp at 110 best offer. So you can go into Terapeak and find out what they took as a best offer. They took 80. So I priced mine at 99 and I got a $78 offer and I took that. I paid $5.44 for it 1 video ago or 2 videos ago, but it was this week. And my $5.55 turned into $78. And somebody's getting a really nice shirt and I have a new Bolo brand to look for. I knew Johnny was a name, but I didn't realize how good it was. New Balancers, dad shoes. I paid $6 for these. They're in pretty darn nice shape. The toes box is a little squirrely, but they're in nice shape for these, and they comped pretty high. I marked them for $40 and ended up taking $30. Like I said, I was taking offers to get things to sell this weekend. So I ended up with a couple of really good days. These sold for $30. I paid $6. They sold for $30, free shipping. This little goofy watch right here, this might present a little bit backwards, but look, the numbers go backwards and the hands spin backwards on this goofy clock. And it seems to be keeping good time. Yeah, it is keeping good time. The handle on it's messed up, but this was a Whatnot pickup. I think I paid $5 or $6. And it sold for $17, free shipping. So not a big winner, mostly because it's in really rough condition. But it's a neat thing. And I bought it and I sold it and I made some money, and that's the point. You guys saw me pick this up at the estate sale for $2. Metallica 2004 Madly in Anger with the World, like madly in love, but anger, which I suppose they think is the opposite of love, but it doesn't quite float. It doesn't feel like it's the opposite to me. Godsmack tour shirt, little bit of a tear in the back, but a nice fade, nice condition, good size, large or extra large, large. I listed it for $69, which felt a little high. Took a $50 offer in a couple of days and was excited to get it. $60, free shipping. Now this one's weird. I'm used to pricing things low and having them sell quickly, but this hat seems very plain to me. Like, it's worth picking up. It's a Joe Camel hat. But this hat has a 100% sell-through rate at like $28. There were 9 listed and 9 sold. And they were selling, some of them were like 28 free shipping, 24 plus shipping. I'm like, I'll get a quick sale at 22 free shipping. And it'll sell quick. But 9 listed and 9 sold means that 100% sell-through rate over 90 days, but one only sells every 10 days. This sold in 10 minutes, which is weird. I was expecting I'll price it to be the next one to sell, and the next one to sell will be in a week. And it sold in 10 minutes, which I'm glad about. That's fantastic. I kind of knew where the market was because the market was pretty, it's not like that market's a mystery. There's 9 listed, there's 9 sold, and they're all between, like, there was one that was 22 or 21 plus shipping. And I was like, well, let me just come in low and get a quick sale. And the market isn't a mystery. I knew what I was doing. I just didn't realize quite how good it was going to work. So I paid $3. It sold the same day for $22, free shipping. So I'll make like $15. Bakugan is a good thing to pick up in lots like this. I paid $3 Whatnot auction again. And when I tell you guys the prices on Whatnot auctions, I'm guessing. Because Whatnot's a weird beast. And especially with the way I buy from people who just put item 1, item 2, item 3. Unless you're taking notes, it's almost impossible to know what you paid. Or like something like that clock, where it was the most expensive item that I bought. And so I knew that it was the $25 line item on my invoice. But this is just it's 4 of the balls, and then there's a broken one, and then a bunch of cards and a carrying case. And I paid like $3 for it, as memory serves. Not exactly knowing what was in it, because the guy that was selling it didn't even really know what it was. And it sold for $15 free shipping. Not a bunch of money. I was hoping that it was better than it was, but again, on Whatnot, it's hard to know what you're getting when you're buying from these storage locker guys who's like, here's a thing. Okay, that's sold. Here's another thing. This is the thing. Get it? $1 good. That's the guys that I buy from. You could buy from the guys who are like, this vintage Nintendo t-shirt is preloaded in the store, new with tags, and you could go to those professional shows and people pay full retail for stuff, and it's a waste of your time if you're using it to source. You gotta go to the shows that are quick and dirty, and the guys that are buying storage units and do not care about the stuff. They just want to get volume moved, and then there's a little bit more of a gamble, but it's way fun, and I have broken even a handful of times. I don't think I've ever lost more than a couple bucks. I haven't lost big yet. Because it's a measured gamble. It's like, you know how to make money on it. This is a bag of Target generic calico critters. So parts to a treehouse. I bought the whole treehouse. It came with a handful of figures. And I thought it was calico critters, which would have been worth like $50 or $75. And then I realized later that it was woodsies, which is like, if you think American Girl, and then Our Generation is like the generic Target equivalent. Calico Critters is really good stuff, and woodsies is the generic equivalent that's a little hard to tell the difference and not worth remotely as much. And so the tree wasn't worth selling, but I parted the tree out, and I've sold I only paid $12 for the whole thing. I sold the figures off for like $20. I sold a slide off for $10. This I think sold for $10. Yeah, $8.99 plus shipping. So I'm making money on it, but I thought I was getting something good because I was buying way outside my wheelhouse on little girl toys that I don't know much about. But for the from that store buyout, they had these really, really ugly sheets. 200 thread count, which is not enough to impress anybody, so it's probably not worth putting that big. Luxury sheets. Anyway, new and packaged vintage sheets. I would have picked them up if I found them at a yard sale for $1 or $2. But I bought them in a bulk buy for $1 per item, and I ended up selling them for $9 plus shipping. And it took them like 3 weeks. It's not like $9 plus shipping on a king flat sheet was such a great price that it sold in minutes. It took 2 or 3 weeks for it to sell because it's ugly. And $9 plus shipping's making pretty good money. Another Whatnot dollar pickup. This is salt and pepper with Goofy on it. The guy had a lot of Goofy stuff that he was running that day. Like Goofy, the Disney character. He was running a lot of Goofy stuff that day. No, not that. Goofy, Disney, Goofy. These are Shakers? Shakers. Anyway, new old stock salt and pepper with Goofy on them. I paid $1. Sold them for $15.90 free shipping. This thing was part of a Ninja that I bought for like $8. I sold the carafe for like $25. And this sold for $17 free shipping. Parting out, really weird. Like, and I'll say it again. Ninja is worth comping and parting out. Cuisinart and KitchenAid are normally my go-to ones. Blenders from other brands do well if they're really high-end blenders, and blenders from like blender-only companies do really well. And then just odds and end things that you need to comp. But if you see Ninja, if you see KitchenAid and Cuisinart, those are normally worth comping. Like Hamilton Beach does have some stuff, but most of the time, if you're comping Hamilton Beach, I wouldn't expect it to come back as a winner. But, you know, you can win sometimes. And that's everything. That's a lot to ship. I got a lot of it packed while we were talking. I got to go find a couple more boxes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the video, commenting, whatever you comment. If you make a vague comment, do me a favor, my brother. Timestamp it, because I see I'm not real good at this. And so I see a lot of comments that are like, that was really funny. You should do that again. Or, you know, whatever. It's a 13-minute video. I have no idea what a lot of the comments mean, because they're talking about, you're watching it, you make a comment, but I have no context for where you are when you make that comment. There is a way in the comments thing to click what says a time on a clock, like it's like a digital clock, and you click it and it puts a timestamp on your video, on your comment, so then I can click on that and be like, oh, that's what they're talking about. That they mean the thing would have been doubled, or whatever it is that's just totally random sounding to me. If there's a timestamp, then I can watch that part of the video and figure out what the crap you're talking about. Because I haven't been able to, I generally don't reply to those comments because I don't understand what you're talking about. So do me a favor, if you're commenting, timestamp the comment unless it's not about a particular thing that's going on in the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the video, commenting. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing if you haven't subscribed. We're up to like 1670, and in August I went over 1,000 subs, and now I'm up to almost 1,700. Took me 3 years to get to 1,000. It's taken me almost a year to get another 1,000. I'm on pace to be at another 1,000 in 1 year, which is fantastic. Thanks for that. Liking, commenting, subscribing, following on other social medias, I guess is what I mean by that. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Thanks for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, following, clicking the bell, the subscribe bell. If you want to get push notifications every time I put something up, click the bell. Check out the links in the bottom. My eBay, my Mercari. I also have a Mercari. If you sign up for Mercari, I get a kickback and you get a kickback. Same deal with Whatnot. If you sign up through my link, you get some money and I get some money. To spend on Whatnot and to spend on Mercari. And then I have another channel where I'm doing a workout challenge, which is not going to plan, but we can get into that on the other video. We're working on the lawnmower, working on the kitchen, working on the front door, working on the bathrooms coming up quick, working on a sink. Me and Evelyn fix a sink. Go check that video out. Thanks for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, following, clicking the bell, all the things that you do. We'll see you on the next one.